Tommy, what's it like to drive the most expensive Wrangler ever?
Yeah, Dad, this is a pretty wild experience because we are behind the wheel right now of the Jeep Wrangler 20th anniversary by AEV Level 2. And this Jeep, depending on configuration, can be as much as $110,000, if not more.
Yeah, so we're in the 4xe, which is a little bit less expensive, but if you had the 392 version of it, it would be about $110,000. And that is because they're only building 150 of these. And the way they do it is, of course, they build the 20th anniversary at the Jeep plant, and I was talking to the engineers, and it goes over to the AEV plant where you get all the bits and pieces.
Yeah, and the thing about this Jeep, right, even in 4xe form, we are knocking on the door of $100,000, which is pretty crazy to think that this is still at its core a four-door open-top Wrangler.
And for that, you get the red seatbelts.
Well, you do, yeah. You get red seatbelts, but you also get the full kit of AEV accessories. Let me pause the video here, Dad, and we'll take a walk around so people can see what this looks like. So let's do a quick tour of this new AEV Level 2 edition of the 20th anniversary Wrangler Rubicon. Now, this vehicle comes in two flavors, the 392, the 6.4 V8, and this model, the 4xe. And I have a feeling that this one is going to be the much more rare option of the two, because if you're spending $100,000 plus on a Wrangler, I think most folks are going to option for the big V8 instead of the plug-in hybrid, but this still offers some really competitive and some really cool features. So let's talk about the overall design on this vehicle. The AEV edition is going to be available in any color you want. So any color you can get the 20th anniversary on, you can get in the AEV. This vehicle goes down the assembly line in Toledo with the other Jeeps and then is actually shipped to the AEV facility where they go ahead and install all of these cool goodies that make it stand out, and then it's brought to your dealer, and of course it's backed by a full warranty. So up front we have the AEV style bumper, extremely durable, extremely high quality. AEV actually runs their part testing through similar durability requirements that the OEM manufacturers do. So a lot of times you'll see aftermarket bumpers start to rust and flake and chip over the years, but the AEV stuff is typically super good. We've got the light pods up front, and this funny little dude, got this little extension so that the front camera actually clears the light pods and you can still utilize the trail cam and see what you're getting into. We got the synthetic worn winch here, the 10S Xeon fair lead by AEV with, of course, just your standard hook there. Underneath, you can kind of start to see that lift. You got the steering damper there. The AEV team have put a tremendous amount of work into this lift. Bilstein shocks, the RT 5100, but labeled by American Expedition Vehicles, of course, which is pretty cool. The iconic phone dial style AEV wheels, and then the BFG KO2 tire, 37 by 12.5 R17s. Got the rock rails along the side, but the inside features a lot of changes over a standard Wrangler. So check out the red and black leather seats, part of that 20th anniversary package. You also have 20th anniversary labeling there on the shifter to make it just a little bit more special. This one has the one-touch power sky roof, which has been hugely popular for Jeep. Contrasting stitching there on the door as well. As we make our way to the back, see more of those phone dial style wheels, and then the AEV rear bumper with the big tubing on the edges to protect the departure angle, and then the rack back here for the spare tire, so that you've got, that support to support the extra weight of the 37 by 12.5 R17 American Expedition Vehicle badging there in the rear. And then these also come with a full 80+ piece toolkit. So if you want to take your doors off in many different ways, you can with 80+ pieces of kit. And then if you get the 392 version, there's an integrated air compressor. Wow, look at that timing. That puppy's open right there. So if you get the V8 model, you get that, but on the 392, or on the 4xe apparently, there's the speaker for the low-speed pedestrian warning, which takes up the same place. So that's why you don't get the compressor on this model. But overall, a nice package. Is it $100,000 plus? Well, that's a big asking price, and I'll be curious to see what you have to say about that in the comment section below. We're in the era of $100,000 Wrangler. Remember when the 03 Rubicon debuted? It was $30,000, and the Jeep engineers were like, no way it was going to pay $30K for a Wrangler. And now we're looking at 3 times that in 2023.
All right, so yeah, you get a lot of stuff that is purposely built not to show off at the mall, but to actually make it better off-road. So is it better off-road?
It is better off-road. Yeah, I mean, when you go from a 32, 33-inch tall tire to a 35, you're going to see big improvements. And when then you jump to a 37, it's going to get even better than that. And that's what we're rolling on in this AEV edition. Now, it does have a bunch of suspension modifications to, fit these 37-inch tall tires in a way that are going to, not only work off-road, but work on-road. It's got Bill Stein suspension by AEV, and it's got a really supple ride. So let's see where we're at right now. We're in four-wheel drive low. We've got the sway bar disconnected, and we are in e-save mode trying to charge up the battery. But if we go into electric mode here, just push a button, and check this out. It will shut off the gasoline engine, and now we are driving across the rocks on nothing but pure electricity.
Yeah, and we've just done a video seeing how far we can take the 4xe off-road. And if you want to see that, we won't repeat that in this Jeep. Go to alltfl.com and you can check out all of our Jeep coverage from the Easter Jeep Safari. Yeah, so, I'm kind of two minds, dude. I mean, I love the fact that this is the top dog Jeep, and, if you do put the 392 under the hood, then you are competing directly with the Bronco Raptor, right? And that's a $90,000 Jeep, probably $120 when you add either markup. But still, these numbers are so expensive. To me, Jeeps have always been, especially Wranglers, have always been kind of the everyman's off-roader, and now we're getting into the rich man's off-roader pricing, right? We're getting into like Range Rover territory.
We're past Range Rover territory in some instances, depending on the Range Rover. Yeah, I mean, and the thing to keep in mind here, Dad, is that they have gotten a significant number of luxuries over the years. I am holding a heated leather-wrapped steering wheel. My butt is on fire with the heated seats. We got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, dual-zone automatic climate control, power top, power windows, power locks. So you're getting a lot of features, but at the end of the day, it's still a Jeep. And is the customer going to be willing to stomach a Jeep that has six figures in it from a Wrangler standpoint? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, like I say, if they were building more than 150, then I'd probably say they're going to have a hard time selling them, but they're going to be die-hard Jeep people who are going to want
now
this.
We're going to work our way along the base of Merrimack Butte, and of course, I get to every spot in the trail. I'm like, no, this is my favorite spot. No, this is my favorite spot. I think this might actually be my favorite spot.
That's Nina Barlow.
Today.
She's our guide for the day.
This trail, there are so many beautiful spots just about everywhere you look. I imagine it's hard to pick.
Yeah, so Nina is our trail guide today, and we are over here underneath Merrimack and Recorder outside of Moab, Utah. Look at that, it's pretty funny, Dad. So the AEV front bumper has a light pods, and you can actually see the light pods there in the front camera, even with that little extension.
Yeah, and I think actually you can go out there and you can actually aim it up and down. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So here we are standing by the latest and greatest Jeep Wrangler. This is the AEV 20th anniversary. So what have you guys done to make the 20th anniversary special?
The 20th anniversary Rubicon really brings out the best of our capability. What we really did was raise the vehicle up half an inch with changed springs and revised shock absorbers to improve the kind of ride off-road and on-road. But raising that half inch and with our standard 35-inch tires on our 392 package really gave us a water fording level that we haven't seen before. 34.5 inches, really, phenomenal off-road capability for water fording.
It's like a bathtub and a half.
Yeah.
And when you design these Jeeps, what's the kind of the mixture between on-road and off-road, right? How do you decide, obviously it's got to be incredibly off-road worthy, but that makes it bad on-road worthy. So how do you work that?
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, but we always ensure we keep to the core, ensure that we have the off-road capability. That's our primary focus. And then we just continue to tune and develop to ensure that we have great on-road quality, feel, comfort, and ride. Yes.
Now, 150 of these, right?
Yes.
Why did you decide to partner with AEV?
AEV's just been a phenomenal company, off-road capability, been around a long time. It was just a really good partnership for Jeep brand.
And do you think that, a price tag in excess of 100,000 is going to make people swoon, or is that something you think because there's so few of them that it's, a one of a kind or 150?
Yeah, no, I really think, our customers really spend a lot of time customizing and bringing that extra capability as well, and partnering with AEV and the 37-inch tires on these models really we think is right at the right price point.
So what's your favorite feature of the new Wrangler? And I'm talking about the anniversary.
The anniversary edition.
Yeah.
love the new interior, that red leather with the red accents. But really just being able to take it off-road and go through the water fording is just really amazing.
Well, there you have it for all you guys who live in Minnesota. With 1,000 lakes, you're all set.
All set, yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, thanks.
Guys, I want to give a huge shout out to our off-road trail navigation sponsor, Onyx Off-Road. They are the #1 go-to off-road app for anything trail navigation. Find the coolest trails in your area, figure out their difficulty, and integrate it into Apple CarPlay so you never get lost out on the trail. Check out Onyx for the best off-road nav out there. Let's talk about the AEV stuff, right? Because when Jeep went to partner with an aftermarket supplier, right, they could have chose any number of manufacturers. There's hundreds of them that are building Jeep parts, but the reason they chose AEV is because of their durability cycles and their quality. So AEV is known for being extremely in-depth with how they test their components, oftentimes to the same standards as an OEM manufacturer, and also the quality and the amount of effort they put into manufacturing their components. So they wanted to partner with the best, and AEV is certainly up there.
And what I like about AEV parts is like they're purposeful, right? Some parts are built to make the Jeep look good, right? But some parts are meant to make the Jeep look good and are built purposely to make it also perform better. And that's what I think AEV does.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there, Dad. My seat is jacked up. No wonder I'm sitting up here too tall. Now, some drawbacks with this 4xe, right? The range with the standard tires is only 21 miles on the road, according to the EPA. We've been able to squeak out 25 realistically in traffic. But when you go to the 37s, I think you're probably going to be looking at significantly less. And then when you come off road, you're only going to probably realistically get a few miles of full electric range.
Yeah, so I got to say, if it were my money, Tommy, and I was spending this for the AEV, I'd put the engine out of the one in front of us inside of it, and that's, of course, the big old V8 Hemi.
The 392, yeah, which is an option on this AEV 20th anniversary.
In fact, I think we talked to the engineers, and they said that 95% of them come with that engine. However, if you want the one that's going to be the most collectible, right?
Yeah, 4xe.
4xe, what color?
I like this blue a lot.
No, the most collectible. You could have the only one of its kind. Tuscadero.
Dad, I hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
Tuscadero was discontinued in 2021.
No.
Yes. It's bad news. Or 2022. It's no longer a color you can buy.
But this might be a 2022.
No, you can't get it anymore.
Really?
Yeah. I hate to break your heart there,
I was
Dad.
saying a Tuscadero AEV with the 4xe would be one of one.
Yeah, but you can't get the color anymore. It's gone.
All right, well, there you have it, guys. We just took a ride in a very expensive Jeep. Let us know what you think of this POV style video. And like I said, go to alltfl.com for more of everything from here in Moab.
I think it's fair to say, though, from a dealer standpoint, right, with all the stuff already included on the sticker, this is the most capable Wrangler ever made. With the 37s, the locking diffs, the sway bar disconnect, this is as good as it's ever gotten. But is this going to be the high watermark? Or are we going to see 40s on the Jeep and, like, 6x6s? Let me know what you think in the comment section.
See you guys next time. Ciao.